I'm back home from my harrowing trip to the supermarket and happy to report I was able to get all my beautiful alkalizing veggies. I am very fortunate to have that little market near us. But I came back on today because I wanted to talk about a study that I just read that addressed the cytokine storms that seem to accompany this virus. And if you don't know what a cytokine storm is, it's when your immune system becomes overactive and it starts attacking the organs. And one of the organs that it attacks, unfortunately, if the lungs are inflamed, the lungs are going to be attacked. And this is not in every case, but it's often seen in the people who become most sick. So this study, and I take it with a grain of salt because it's an animal study, which I hate. It was on mice, and it was also just one study, but anything that's promising, I'm happy to pass along. And what I like about it is it was about curcumin, which is something I could recommend to anybody anyway. That is very anti-inflammatory. Now, the thing that bothers me about curcumin studies is that it's the active constituent in turmeric, and I think that just because that's what they do in science, they always have to isolate the active constituent, and they neglect the synergistic effect of all the other constituents. We don't know, there might be something else that does an equally good job. So what I'd like to pass along, absolutely, if you can get some curcumin, take the curcumin. It's not going to hurt you. And you can follow the dosages. It's usually 2 capsules a day. One of the companies that I deal with has, this is orthomolecular, they have something called Truvia, which is actually a complete turmeric matrix. And it's actually a different color than the curcumin. The curcumin pills tend to be very orange, and the Truvia is a little bit darker. So I don't know if that's a result of the processing. It must be a result of it being the entire plant. But that's actually what I would recommend to you, that you take the entire plant. I grow my own turmeric, and this is a tiny little piece of root that I broke off of my plant. Penny is not pleased, my biggest dog. She's in the corner barking. So, tiny little root. But what I can do with this tiny little root, I can grate this and put it in some tea. I can put this in something that I might eat. I can make some golden milk with it. There's a lot you can do with turmeric. There's also a tea that you can get that Numi makes. It's an organic tea, and it's got ginger, licorice, and rose, and it's pretty tasty. Or you can just use turmeric right out of your cabinet. And that's beautiful, grated, fresh, well, it was at one time, organic turmeric that one of my girlfriends brought, my friend Anne Renee, brought to me from, looks like she was in California at the time. And she brought that back for me. My friends, when they travel, often bring me spices, so I always appreciate that. Happy to try something new. But I wanted to pass along that study to you in case you've been sick, in case you just want, the curcumin is good for any kind of inflammation. So I'm not suggesting that it's going to protect you, but I read that it has had an effect, and I want to pass that information along. Positive information, turmeric is not going to hurt you, nor is curcumin, so feel free to add that to your diet, and have a lovely day.